Welcome everybody. This is it one of those things, the LifeWave Business Opportunity Explained? It's an excellent presentation that Dr. Ed's going to do. So I'm going to turn it over to him and we'll get going. Hey, Georgia
Hi,
and
everybody.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, welcome tonight to this night's This Is It. Or is it one of those things? Sorry, not This Is It. My name is Ed Pemictor. I'm a physician. I practice health optimization medicine in Virginia. Now, this presentation is in general about network marketing, more specifically about LifeWave. But the reason I'm doing this is because one of the big resistance points that I personally had about LifeWave was the fact that it was a network marketing company. So I had to educate myself about this because my knee-jerk reaction was like, I think most people's knee-jerk reaction, which is that network marketing is kind of scammy, that the products are a bunch of junk, that people are going to be hard selling you all the time. And that is the case in some situations. It's not the case with LifeWave. So there's a lot of nuance, as with anything that we look at in life. And one of the things that I have learned over the years is that if I have an automatic reaction to something, that's probably a topic that I need to go back and re-examine to figure out why it is that I'm reacting that way, because essentially I've been programmed to react that way, and I need to take a serious look at it. So I hope that you get something out of this presentation and that it's fun. We have a question and answer at the end, so just you can save those up or put them in the chat on the side. Now let's get to the presentation here. Okay, so is it one of those things? That might be a question that you've been asked. Typically, when people ask that, what they're insinuating is it a pyramid scheme? You could reply, is it one of those things? You mean like a really great opportunity for you to help other people and to make money yourself? Yes, it is one of those things, and I love it. But we'll get, and that's the way that I feel about it right now. But at first, I was along the lines of, is it one of those scams? So the purpose today is for me to give you an honest explanation of this model, this distribution model, to try to do it without, a lot of emotion, and for you to just decide if this is something that that kind of meshes with you. And even just for you to have it in the back of your head. So if you decide right now that this is not what you want to be doing, at least you know some more about it. So let's set the expectations. So right off the bat, any network marketing company and LifeWave, which we're talking about, LifeWave is as the business is not for everybody. I happen to think that the product is for everybody and can benefit everybody, but doing the business, you have to want to do it. So a lot of people get involved with LifeWave because the products are really awesome and very beneficial for you as an individual. And some people are just users. Then there's kind of a level up from that, which is people who start trying to actually understand what's going on. What is the science behind this? Some people then start getting kind of excited about the results that they're having and the potential results for other people and want to share the product with their friends. And that's kind of the first level of business involvement. And then there are other people, kind of goes up to the top where people are like, wow, this is something that is really fun. It's a really great product. And I can see a lot of potential here. And this is basically what I want to do as a job. So there's a wide spectrum of involvement from the top to the bottom. And all of those choices are valid choices. What is right for you is what's the right choice and what's valid. So my goal is not to convince you to become a brand partner or a distributor, anything like that. It's just to lay this out for you. If you happen to be a brand partner and you have come across people who have resistance to the product because it is part of network marketing, please share this with them, have them get on this call so that they can understand it. Because I think, as with many things that we're uneasy with, once you really understand it, it kind of demystifies it, and you realize that it's not such a big deal. Um, so just hear this as a conversation. I'm not pitching you to become a brand partner by any means. So what does LifeWave do and what does it not do? So right off the bat, LifeWave does not promise you any income. As a brand partner with LifeWave, what LifeWave does is it provides you with a structure and an organization within which you can work, where you are rewarded financially for using the product yourself, for teaching other people about the product and getting them to use it, and for building a team of other people who are selling or sharing the product themselves. So, what you as a brand partner actually are doing is you own your own business. You are an independent contractor working alongside LifeWave, but you get to make your own decisions, and LifeWave is not telling you what you have to do, which is really pretty wonderful. Now, what is the mindset of a brand partner? As I said, the first level is just people who might share it with one or two other people because they just think it's a great product. The next level up is, somebody might say, okay, well, I got two or three people using this product and I'm now making 60 or 70 or $80 a month. Boy, if I just enroll a few more people, it will pay for my patches. So that is kind of the entry level of being involved in the business, is seeing I could pay for my product by sharing this patch. The next level up from that is when people start seeing, well, now instead of making money just to pay for my patches, I could make an extra 200 or 300 or $400 a month. And that would help me with a car payment or pay the electricity bill or whatever. An extra $500 a month can make a big difference in pretty much, 99% of people's lives. And so that's a wonderful thing. And then sometimes when people see success at that level, or early on when they start seeing the success of other people around them, and they say, wow, I could be making thousands of dollars a month. Some of the people that we are friends with make, tens of $1,000, more than $100,000 a week. And I look at them and say, boy, they're really not that much different than me. They're just different people, but they don't have a special skill set or anything. I think I could do that too. And that's part of what got me really excited about this, and my wife excited about this, that this could be a business that is transformative to us financially, but we are rewarded financially for actually transforming other people's lives as far as their health goes, and by building a team where we're helping other people earn more money and maybe earn an additional income. So it gets very exciting that way for me. So why would a company choose to utilize network marketing? Well, part of it is if you have a product, and I think this is LifeWave's place, I think. LifeWave has a product that is very unique. And so it takes some explanation, it takes a little hand holding, it takes some coaching to help people use it and stick with it long enough to see success, to see, yes, this really is something that is working. So if it was just a product that was sitting on the shelf at GNC, like when David Schmidt was first looking at how am I going to sell this product, if you went into a vitamin store, one, if there was anybody there that was going to help you, they probably would not have the knowledge about the product to really help you understand it. Two, if you're involved in this business, you understand that you oftentimes spend hours talking with people about this product before they finally buy it. Now, if you break that down to how much money do you earn per hour for talking to somebody, it's not very much because you might make $20 off of a sale. So this is not a big money maker right up front. The money is made as we go along, and I'll show you that. But it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort and it takes commitment. You have to love the product. So if I went into GNC and I just picked this up off the shelf, I wouldn't know that I need to wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours off. I wouldn't know that I need to wear it consistently. I mean, I'm a guy, I'm not going to read the instructions. I would probably give up after a few days if I didn't see any results, not realizing that this is a long-term project. So for LifeWave, it makes a lot of sense that they would basically take raving fans of the product and reward them for teaching other people about it. So a lot of us tell other people about mechanics that we like, restaurants that we love to go to, a lot of other things that we like, but we don't get rewarded for that. In network marketing, you get rewarded for sharing your enthusiasm. Now, so most people become involved in LifeWave because somebody that they trusted offered the product to them. I personally had heard about LifeWave for a couple years, and sorry, my dog is getting jealous. I had heard of LifeWave for a couple years, and because it was network marketing, I thought, okay, this is kind of scammy. And because the product seemed to solve everything, it sounded like snake oil to me. So it took a friend coming and saying, "Hey, why don't you try this? I'd love to have you try this." And beyond that, my wife saying, "I'm sick of you whining about your ankle hurting. Just stick this thing on." And I tried it, and fortunately for me, I was a one patch wonder. And overnight, I had significant resolution of my problems. If that hadn't happened, I probably would not have stuck with it because I didn't understand the product. But once you experience something positive, you go, okay, I don't quite understand this thing, but it's really doing something. I need to understand this. And who else do I know that this could help? And you start talking to other people about it. Once you see the results among yourself, but among people that you know and people that you come to know, it becomes, as my wife Thora says, a moral imperative to share this because it sounds hyperbolic, but it is really revolutionary. And in my career in medicine, I've never come across anything that is anywhere near this and what it can do for people. Um, so that's where you get to this point that I have to share this transformational technology. Now, one of the complaints that I have heard from people is, I really don't like network marketing because they charge a lot of money for the product, and then that money is spent on cruises to the Bahamas and trips to Hawaii and conventions with lots of rah-rah. And yes, the company does spend money on all of those things, but we have to compare network marketing. The only fair thing to do is compare network marketing to conventional distribution systems. So in a conventional distribution system, and my wife and I have owned a spice company for an organic spice company for 16 years. So we understand this model. We as manufacturers, out of every $10 that you pay at the store, we earn $4 for manufacturing the product. The other $6 goes towards advertising, distribution, the broker, the owner of the store, the electricity, the rent, the mortgage, the paying the people that are working the store. All of that stuff eats up 60% of your $10. Okay. For LifeWave, if you spend $10 with LifeWave, LifeWave, the company, keeps $4 of that. The other $6 goes towards paying the brand partners, paying for the trips, paying for all that stuff. It's the same proportions, but instead of there being a lot of middlemen between you and the product, there's basically one middleman, the person that you talked to, and then the team that they're involved with. Everybody, there are lots of people who are getting a little piece of the action, but it's no different than going into a store. The money is proportionally the same. It's just that it's kind of going to individuals instead of going to large corporations, which I think is fantastic because you as an individual can get in without having to own a store, own a warehouse, do all this stuff. So it's pretty cool. Now, what is the difference between network marketing and a conventional job? Well, in network marketing, you are a business owner, so you have to change your frame of mind to thinking about, I am building a business. So when you work, how much you work is dependent upon you. Nobody else is telling you when to show up. Nobody else is telling you when you go home. Okay. So you don't have a boss. Your income, therefore, is theoretically uncapped because you can work as much as you want. You don't have somebody saying you're making X number of dollars an hour, or this is your salary for the year, and this is how many hours you get to work a week, and so forth. You can earn as much as you want, and that's dependent upon the time that you put in, the effort that you put in, the skills that you have. Okay. So it's all dependent upon you, nobody else, which is a big change. Now, most employers are making decisions for you. You get to make the decisions for yourself. LifeWave has their little thing about we're making the product and we're going to send it out and so forth. But the approach to how you sell the product, how you share the product is up to you. Now, um, another big one in conventional employment, when you stop working, if you don't show up, you don't get paid. In network marketing, as you build a customer base underneath you and a sales organization underneath you, uh, they end up contributing much more to your income than your individual work does. So if you step aside for days or weeks or even months, all of that income that everybody else in your organization is generating for you continues to come in. So it's called residual income. And it actually, so it ends up kind of like an insurance policy for you. If you get injured, if somebody in your family needs your help, you can take care of that and still have income coming. So regular employment, you've got kind of a guaranteed income in that you know how much you're making per hour or how much per year, but it's very linear. It doesn't change from week to week or from hour that you're getting paid. In network marketing, because you are building a business, oftentimes you're putting in more time at the start as you're establishing, as you're building your company. But as you build it, then it starts generating its own income, and your income ends up being higher than would be proportional to the hours that you're working each week. So now, what is this a residual income? So other examples of residual income would be rental income. You earn money, you save money, you buy a house, and then you rent it out. So now you are not working on a constant basis, but that money is coming in, that rental income. Investment dividends. So you have purchased a fraction of a company and the company then rewards you with dividends off of their profits or royalties. You created a book or a work of art or music or something, and you continue to earn money off of that one-time creation. So those are residual incomes. Now, in LifeWave, the residual income comes from two places. One is the customer base that you've built and their ongoing purchases of the product because the product is useful. The second uh, origin of residual income comes from the sales team that you've built, the other brand partners who are sharing and selling, and you, as their leader, get a portion of their income. Now, this is where I want to talk about what is a pyramid scheme. So, a pyramid scheme, if you remember, if when you were in elementary school or something, and this might be dating myself, but we used to sometimes come across getting a letter in the mail and it said, and it would have a list of people and it says send $1 to the 10 people at the top of the list, add your name to the bottom and cross off the person at the top and send this on to 100 people that you know. So the idea was that basically you would finally make it to the top of the pyramid and all these people would be sending you $1 each. Now that's a pyramid scheme because it's based upon you earning money from new people coming into the organization, but them not receiving anything of value in exchange. So LifeWave is not a pyramid scheme, and pyramid schemes are illegal. LifeWave has been in business for 21 years in the United States. If it was a pyramid scheme, it would have been, you know, taken out of business by the government at this point. So it's clearly that it's not. But it's not a pyramid scheme because it is offering a product that people purchase because they value it. And that is the foundation of the business. So enrolling new people is not the foundation. Selling product is the foundation. Okay, very, very important. Now, what this means is that we are interested in sharing the product, helping people understand that it's useful. Now, enrolling builders is great because that's how your organization grows over time, but you cannot be successful without customers. So both customers and builders are necessary for your success, and both lead to your growth. Now, what is the reality of this situation? In network marketing across the past 6 decades and across many, many tens or hundreds of different networking companies, these numbers work out to be about the same all the time. About 1 in 20 people who sign up to use a product end up becoming builders of some kind, whether that's they're selling to one other person or they're selling to 10,000 other people. So it's about 5% of people actually become involved in the business. Now, I have only been involved in this business for 9 months now. And my wife and we thought we knew, oh, this person is going to be a great builder. And this person is going to be a great builder. And this person over here, they're just going to be a customer. And in almost every situation where we've thought that, we have been completely wrong. So you cannot prejudge who is going to get motivated to say, oh, I love this and I want to build this business and share this product. So change your mind that you're not just out hunting people to build the business because you're gonna frustrate yourself. You are just trying to share a great product with people, and the builders will naturally emerge from that. So again, customers are not a problem. So do not look down upon your customers. They are the foundation of your success. So what does this mean in real life? In real life, it means that what we are doing is we are creating a business where we're building trust with people. We're sharing our knowledge with people. We're trying to help people out. We're prioritizing giving them value. We're focusing on their needs, not our needs. So people are not the means by which we are going to create a business and earn a great income. We are going to build a business and create a great income by serving other people. Okay. So we need to have that kind of change of mentality. So we're helping people, we're not recruiting people. And that attitude helps to disarm the discomfort that people have because you can be relatively disconnected from whether somebody takes this or not. And you're not, when we talk about sales, most people think of somebody trying to sell you something, which is basically trying to convince you to buy something that you don't need. Um, that is not what we do, and that is not the pathway to long-term success in this business. So, in real life, you enroll 100 people, 95 of them will be builder or customers, and 5% will be builders. Now, why is this important? Well, this is kind of an old quotation from network marketing from a gentleman named Bill Liss, who was a multimillionaire from network marketing. And what he said is, look, I showed my product to 1,200 people. Out of that, 900 people said, no, I don't even want to take a look at it. So 300 people ended up signing up out of that 1,200. Out of those 300, 85 did anything at all. So that might mean that they got one other person signed up. 35 people were serious and tried to make a go of the business. And out of those 35, 11 were really successful. And those 11 are what made him a multimillionaire. So now if we look at those numbers, out of 300 people that signed up, 11 people were really successful. So that's roughly 4%. So that fits into my 4 or 5% range of who are going to be the real builders for you. Now that's important because if we now look at this model, which is how many people do you sign up who are builders? Now, nobody's team, nobody's downline looks like this. So this is completely a model. But if we imagine that you sign up enough people that you get 3 good builders. So you might have 97 people who are customers and 3 people who are really building. And those 3 people each get 3 people, and those 3 people each get 3 people. If we go down 5 generations, so 5 levels down, you end up with 243 total builders and all of those people's teams. Okay. So a lot of folks. If we then skip over to where you signed up 5 people and each one of them signed up 5 people and so on down through 5 generations, now, when we get down through 5 generations, we don't have 243 builders. We've got 3,125 builders. So you can see it's more than 10 times as many people in your organization just from getting 2 more significant builders on your team. So what we are focused on is kind of slow and steady progress of getting more people on our customer base and our team, allowing the people who are going to emerge as builders to come out and then support them. And the way you support them is by keeping this pretty simple. And LifeWave is a great product for that because there's nothing else out there like LifeWave. It is patented and it actually works. So it's not difficult. Once you get somebody to actually use the patches, what I have found is most people continue to use the patches and they get excited and start sharing it. So I can't see myself doing a network marketing company where I'm trying to convince somebody that my protein powder is better than somebody else's protein powder, or my makeup is better than somebody else's makeup, or my soap better than somebody else's soap. But in LifeWave, it's very simple. It's very easy for me because I see this as a great product and there's no other place to get it. There's no other avenue for it. So, what else can you do except buy it from LifeWave? So that makes it really easy. Now, what is the value of this business that you build? Well, that residual income that you're getting has real asset value. And because it's a reliable cash flow, it comes in long term. It's not dependent upon you being really active in what you're working. And you can actually sell this business to somebody else, or you can pass this business on to your heirs. So it is an appreciating asset and you are building it. So what you have to change again from being an employee to being a business owner is instead of getting your income for time, trading time for income, you are using your skills to build an asset, and that asset is producing the income for you. Okay. So you have to reframe what you're doing. And some people can't do this. They are so used to just being a worker that they have a really, really hard time understanding investing time to build the asset in order to make the money. And sometimes this is a conflict among spouses where one spouse is like, why are you spending so much time and you're not making any income? They're having a hard time seeing the big picture. So if that's a situation for you, it might be useful for you to get somebody on this call, your spouse or whatever, so that they can get a better picture of what it is that you're trying to build. So we're focusing on the long run. Now, how do we actually value the asset? There is a rule of thumb, which is to basically take that monthly residual income. So let's say that you work 4 years building a team that generates you a $5,000 a month income. And it might only take you a year to do that. Okay. It might take you, some people do it in a matter of a couple months, but 4 years is a very, very, very fair time frame to put it in. That $5,000 a month, if you multiply it by 200, gives you $1 million. What that is saying is if I have $1 million and I stick it in the bank or in an investment that makes 6% a year, which is, you know, it's a relatively reasonable estimate to make over the long run. So $1 million at 6% a year is going to generate $5,000 a month for me. So if I have a asset that's generating $5,000 a month for me, it's basically worth $1 million a year. Now, what is crazy about that is that if you save $1,000 a month, it's going to take you 83 years to save $1 million. If you can save $10,000 a month, it's going to take you 8.5 years to save $1 million. So you can come into a network marketing business like LifeWave, and if you put in the effort and the time and you have the skill set and so forth, or you develop the skill set to earn $5,000 a month, you have now built $1 million asset in your spare time in 4 years. And I do not know. I mean, I used to actually be a financial advisor, and I wish that I had investigated network marketing at that time and understood this, but I didn't. But I do not know of any other legitimate legal opportunity where what you put at risk is $300 to become a brand partner with a core kit and your time that you invest. And in 4 months or 4 years, you have a reasonable chance of having built an asset worth $1 million. And let's say it's worth $100,000. You know, to get $100,000 in 4 years requires you to save $25,000 a year. That's, $2,000 plus a month. That's not easy to do, and not in your spare time. So this is a great opportunity for a young person who sees, wow, I could invest 4 or 5 years of my time right now, set myself up with an ongoing income that then frees me up to do the job of my dreams or do whatever it is that I want. For somebody in their middle stages of life, it's a great opportunity because let's say a stay-at-home mom or a mom or a dad that's taking care of the kids, they could work this in their spare time and generate a significant income for their family, or somebody getting close to retirement or in retirement and seeing, I don't have as much as I want to have as my assets. Again, you could invest a few years of work and generate a significant income for yourself. So again, I don't see any other opportunities out there. If somebody knows of one, let me know because I'd like to look at it. Now, LifeWave specifically, LifeWave has 9 official ways that you can earn money from them. And the 10th way that I have in here is incentive trips. So we've earned in the past 7 months that we've been involved with LifeWave, we've earned a cruise for two to the Bahamas and now a trip for two to Hawaii, with the flight and the airfare and the food and all of that paid for. So that's one of the cool things about LifeWave is that these incentive trips can be earned by somebody coming right into the company. You don't have to be of a certain rank. Now, the other different ways that you earn money, I'm not going to get into them at all because it gets complex and it's not necessary to know. What is necessary to know is that as you increase the business that your team is generating, that causes you to go up in your rank. And as your rank increases, you have more earning avenues opened up to you. The reason for this and why network marketing companies do this is that each one of these different earning pathways incentivizes a different behavior in you. So initially, it's incentivizing you just learning how to talk to other people about the product. Then you get incentivized to start to learn how to build a team. Then you get incentivized to really learn how to lead a team, and then so on and so on upward. So there's a reasoning behind this. There's a logic behind this, because the better you are at creating a team, the more stable your team is, the more stable the sales force and the customer base is for LifeWave. So that's why they do this, and that's why all network companies do this. Now, let's look at the real numbers. So at the bottom of this screen is a link to the income disclosure statement for LifeWave for 2024. That's the most recent one that we have. And there's a little bit more detail in there as to how long does it take for people to get to each one of these ranks. But and LifeWave's ranks currently, they just changed their system about 5 months ago. So there's a little bit different now, but this does give you an idea. We can see that 94.5% of brand partners are essentially customers. Okay. Their average income is 0. So like I said, 95% of brand partners do not earn anything. They are customers. So this reinforces that. Now, if we look at the other extreme here, at the very top are the senior presidential directors. That is 5 out of every 1,000 people. Sorry, 5 out of every 10,000 people are senior presidential directors. Okay. So that's like, whoa, five out of everything. 1 out of every 2,000 people is a presidential director. That's a really, really rare thing. And those people on average are making 235,000. It says the low income is 4,700. I don't know who's making that. From the ones that I know, they're making more in the hundred thousands to the millions range. But nonetheless, this is the statistics that LifeWave has. Now, if we pull out those brand partners, the ones who are not really working the business, and we just look at who is working the business, we get different numbers. The senior presidential directors, instead of being 1 out of every 2,000 people, is almost 1 out of 100 people. So this puts it in a very different perspective, that if you work this business, you have a good shot at getting up to levels that are quite significant in earning potential. Now, the other thing that is hidden within these statistics is that LifeWave, the company, although it's been around for 21 years now, for the first about 17 years of its existence, was a relatively small company. Their sales were $20 million a year. In the past 5 years, LifeWave has grown from $20 million a year to $1 billion a year. Okay. So it has grown enormously in that time. So a lot of new people have come in that time. A lot of them, everybody starts out as a brand partner and then moves to a manager and so forth. So there is a lot of room for growth, because 83% of people were managers. that doesn't mean that those people are limited from moving to the top. The only thing that limits you again is the success of your work. There is nobody else that's getting in your way but you, which I think is awesome. I think that is like so egalitarian and fair. This is what other business have you been involved in where you actually get rewarded for the value that you produce? I have not been in anything like that. You know, I had a lot of great anesthesia partners. Some worked harder than others. I don't know where exactly people would rank me among in that group from lazy to hardworking, but we all got paid basically the same thing. We were pretty much salaried. And I think most of us have experienced that in our jobs, even where you work a lot harder than other people, and the result is you just get more stuff dumped on you because you're a better worker, and your bosses know that they can depend on you. In this situation, the better you are, the more you get rewarded, and it's automatic. You don't have to fight for it. So I think maybe you got the sense that I'm excited about this business and the potential for it. So let's get to the conclusion. Who is Lifeway for, and who's it not for? Well, basically, if you are somebody who wants to do hard selling, if you are somebody who sees other people as a stepping stone or a pathway to your success, if you are focused on being right and convincing other people, if you need to have a guaranteed income, um, it's probably not the place for you. Okay. It's just not the right business overall. And LifeWave itself is probably not the right company culture for you to be involved in. On the other hand, if you love the product, if you really feel motivated to share the product with other people because you want to benefit other people, you want to serve them, if you are more concerned with developing relationships than developing the sale, and if you want to be a leader who leads people by example and leads people by serving them rather than leading people by command, if you want to be a servant leader, LifeWave is an awesome place for you to set up business. And I really encourage you to take a closer look at it. So we really, really focus on service. Now, so if after this you feel drawn to LifeWave, if you're already a LifeWave brand partner, I hope it got you psyched up and excited to get your team involved in this and really have them have a different perspective on this. If you are not a brand partner, what I suggest that you do is examine the products, examine yourself and what your goals are. Could you benefit from having another stream of income? Could you see yourself talking about this product with other people? Um, get together with whoever got you on this call. If you ended up here by accident, you can get together with Kathleen or my wife Thora or myself. Any of the three of us would be happy to talk with you. And we'd love to connect and just answer questions, educate you more, and allow you to make the decision as to whether it's the right business for you. You can always come in and then leave. You can always come back. You can come back in at whatever point, or maybe it's not right for you right now, and it is in 2 months or 2 years. But you've got more information now about the realities, and maybe you're sitting there thinking of somebody else in your life who you really see could benefit from this, and I suggest get them on here so that they can learn about it. But thank you very much for your patience and your time. I hope you got a lot out of this, and we have time for questions and answers.